Peace, 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 love, light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in, climb on in. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Peace, peace. I'm gonna wait for y'all to get on in the building. I know a lot of people said that Facebook and IG and YouTube is not sending y'all notifications when I go live. I've been getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DMs, inboxes, and comments on my comment board saying whenever I go live that y'all are not being notified. So, please forgive me for that. Y'all climb on in. I want to talk about eczema, candida. I want to talk about SIBO. I want to talk about warts. I want to talk about bacteria overgrowth. All of that. So y'all climb on in. Y'all climb on in. I got a particular case that I want to go over with y'all. A real deep case, y'all. And I think it'll be very, very helpful for y'all. I see that we only a few hundred followers away from hitting 100,000 here on Instagram. So shouts out to everybody that's following me. Shouts out to everybody that believe in my healing methodologies and that's taking the information and taking their health and their life into their own hands. So I appreciate y'all for that. Like, no doubt, I really appreciate y'all. For all the newcomers and for all the new followers that are jumping on here and following me, I will introduce myself. My name is Yah'ki Raphael. My nickname is Yah'ki, but my real name is Yah'ki Raphael, which means God who gives life. And Raphael means healer. So that's what I am. That's what I do. I actually live the definition of my name. I am a certified master herbalist. I have been doing this for 12 years now. I'm also a biochemist. I am a master Reiki healer. I heal with energies and hands, crystal healers. I teach breath work. And I'm a dietitian where we teach you how to live and how to, increase your cellular regeneration through eating fruits. And I do believe in a fruitarian, frugivore diet, but I'm not an extremist though. So that's just what I do, man. We real deep into philosophy. We love talking about ancient African artifacts and histories, whether we talking about Aboriginal Americans, Aboriginal Africans in Americans, Aboriginal Africans in Africa. We are real deep into all of that with the culture and spirituality attached to it. So, I would like to say I'm a master healer on all levels when it comes to mind, body, spirit, and soul. And we have thousands and thousands of healing testimonies, and we have thousands of actual diagnostic sheets showing that people had chronic diseases or what they would call irreversible, incurable diseases, where me and my team have healed these diseases. And we have the testimonies, the videos, and the diagnostic sheets from the doctors proving that we have healed all these so-called incurable diseases by way of natural remedies that come from our ancestors. So that's who I am. That's what I do. I appreciate all of y'all who have been following. Anybody that's looking for their orders, we are working very, very hard to get the orders out. If you look at the shipping can sometimes take up to 30 days, y'all. We get thousands and thousands of orders weekly. And again, there's only 15 people who work for my company. We are looking to hire more people. But to go through that hiring process, our people need to be very educated and have to go through a lot of studious training in order for them to work with me, because we healing incurable or irreversible diseases, should I say. So that takes a lot of knowledge, y'all, and a lot of time and a lot of patience. So continue to be patient with us. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. I see, look, we usually have 1,000 people in the building. There's only 68 people in the building. So I already know that they most definitely blocking me, y'all. Most definitely blocking me, but it's all good. It is all good. There's only 70 people in the building. It usually be 500 to 1,000. So I'm most definitely getting shadow banned around this mug. All right, so look, I want to talk about a particular case with y'all. And this is from a brother who hit us up in questions at yahkiawaken.com. And he's dealing with eczema, candida, SIBO, which stands for small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. And he's dealing with leaky gut. So I'm going to read what he wrote me. And then we're going to go through it and we're going to talk about how to heal these things. If y'all ready to get it started and if y'all can hear me good, just type in some 9s and we're going to get this started. And I'm going to start trying to do question for each question, just one dedicated video instead of going through like 10 different questions in one video. So this one will be labeled eczema, candida, SIBO, IBS, and leaky gut. So if y'all ready, type in some 9s and get it started. For those who are trying to learn herbology and learn how to heal yourself and just to be a herbalist or a healer of others, make sure that you got your pen and your pad and let's dive deep. Let's get to it. All right, so this one is from Adrian Lockhart. Peace to you, God. How you feeling? It says, greetings, God. I've been suffering for years with this. I have been told that it's eczema and was recently tested for fungi and candida overgrowth and leaky gut, which came back positive. And I'm going to show y'all his pictures that he sent me. What we did was we blotted out his eyes for you couldn't see who he is, but we are going to show you the picture because this is a extreme case of acidosis. This is a extreme case of fungal infection that he have going on. Extreme case of candida overgrowth, y'all. It's coming through his skin. I mean, it's coming everywhere, y'all. It was unbelievable when I first seen it, but we're going to get him all the way healed up. It says, I've been suffering for years with this. I've been told it's eczema, and I was recently tested for fungal candida overgrowth and leaky gut, which came back positive. I tried an all-fruit diet and juicing, but I found no luck. And there's a reason why you found no luck, because you are not metabolizing your sugars. And once you go on an all-fruit diet or all-juicing diet, for one, when you go on an all-fruit diet, you're going on a monosaccharide fruit diet. So you're eating nothing but fructose, which is a simple sugar. When you juice it, you're literally drinking nothing but the sugar from the fruit. So the worst thing you could do when you're dealing with an affection like this is go on a all juicing fruit diet, and I'm gonna show you why. He said which he found no luck when he went on an all fruit and all juicing diet. It says, and I've been taking herbs along with it. Please, I am suffering. Looking from the picture, you're using the wrong herbs or you're using the wrong formulas, and I'm gonna give you my formulas and I'm gonna give you my herbs to use to get rid of what you got going on. It says, please, I'm suffering. I am not able to get any sleep. Excessive, extreme itching and flaking, shedding of the skin. I see that in the pictures, man. When I seen the pictures, bro, it broke my heart. But I'm going to show you exactly what to do. We're going to create some skin salves for you to stop that itching. We're going to help you out. It says, and when I wipe my arms and my legs or the back of my back or face, it's like a cloud of skin comes off like ashy, like dust. I have big piles of ashes of dust. I haven't eaten anything today in fear flare-ups, but I flare up even when I don't eat anything. I've taken in the past steroids cream, which is not going to work, and that's going to weaken your adrenal glands. It says, and I have gotten tested for food allergies, and I haven't gotten any allergy shots, but as you can see, nothing works. It's not an allergy. It's not an allergy what you're going through. It feels like crawling sensations throughout my entire body and blood. That's what you're going through. You are going through an overbacterial infestation and a parasite infestation. I'm going to show you when we show you these pictures. It says, and that's because you're not utilizing your sugars. And there's a particular organ inside of your adrenal glands that actually deals with you. It's called cortisol. This is what deals with your sugar metabolism. You have adrenal problems. Your adrenal problems is your issues. And I'm going to show you why. It says it feels like crawling sensations throughout my body and blood. I've taken herbs of antifungals, but nothing is working. Itching is bum, yo. I feel you. It says I get extremely itching from head to toe. I've taken antifungal and anti-herb parasites. You looking and you going after this the wrong way. It should be a systematic healing and systematic herbs. You need to be going after the adrenal glands. That's your issues. It says I shed excessively whenever I try to detox. That's what you're supposed to do. And it's itching nonstop. I put oregano oil on my hands and like golden seal and yellow dock in my herbs, and I take burdock root tea also. You mixing them wrong. And the worst thing you can do is put oregano on that skin because it's going to dry it out and cause cracks and bleeding. You should take that oregano internally. It says stuff like hard crystals comes out of my scalp, which is nothing but dandruff. Dandruff is nothing but yeast and candida and fungus. It says my skin as well. Also, I have bad odors that come from my skin and my armpits. That's your lymphatic system being stagnated, and you're not getting rid of the lymph or the build up of toxemia that's in your blood. You're extremely acidic, brother. It smells like metal when it comes out from my skin. When I flare up, I get hot, and when odors comes out from my skin and armpits. It says when I flare up, I get hot, and when it cools down, I get cold. So look, that's adrenals again. Adrenals is what actually deals with your iron phosphate metabolism. And your iron phosphate is a molecule that people use when they are anemic and they get cold. Iron actually keeps the blood warm. And the corrosion and the rust of the iron is what turns the blood red. So you can tell that it's your adrenals. For one, you're not metabolizing your sugars correctly. Them are adrenal problems. Cortisol, which is a hormone or what you will call a solvent that comes from the adrenal glands, actually metabolize your sugar. Another thing that metabolize your metals or your minerals inside your body is your adrenals as well. So we see that your adrenals are down. I bet you if you check your blood pressure, the top part is systolic, that should be 120. The bottom part is diastolic, that should be at 60 or 70. Check that top part. I bet you that top part is very, very low or very, very high, showing you that your adrenal glands have been compromised. That's all you have going on for real. And I'm going to show you how this works and the reason why you're in the position you in. All right, man, this is a whole lot. It says, am I doing something wrong? Yes, you are doing something wrong, brother. You going after the diet in the wrong way, and you using the wrong choice of herbs in the wrong way. What is happening when I do this? Can someone explain? I'll explain it for you in a minute. Let me just read your whole letter. I'm trying to get this stuff out as fast as possible, but I'm going through hell trying to do this. Any input will help. And can someone explain this blister? I see the blister. I'm going to show them pictures. That's behind my knee. You forming pockets and you getting warts. You forming pockets. We have to understand that the skin is the third kidney. If your kidneys that's in your body is not eliminating the metabolic waste that the body builds up, then what will happen is this. If your skin doesn't eliminate, if your kidneys doesn't eliminate the waste, then your skin is the third kidney. Your skin will start having a fontanelle or a process of elimination, and you'll start seeing eczema. You'll start seeing skin rashes. You'll start seeing bumps. You'll start seeing pimples. You'll start seeing tumors, and you'll start seeing warts and stuff like that, because the toxins cannot stay in the body. Because if the toxins stay in the body, then the cells would die. And if all your cells die, then you would die. So the body have this magnificent way of healing and rehabilitating itself. So I done seen skins open up and tumors pop out because the lymphatic system wasn't moving fast enough. I done seen people get big tumors that just localize for it won't mess with the blood supply. So the body does everything in its power to protect the blood supply. So if anything is getting in the way of the blood supply, or if the blood supply is starting to get tainted and too many toxins and metabolic waste are starting to go into the blood supply because your lymphatic system is stagnated, because your kidneys and your adrenals down, the body be like, shit, well, we got to open up the skin. So your skin start taking a defecation, your skin start taking a poop. And when I show y'all the pictures, that's what this brother is going through. His skin is taking a poop. And not only is his skin taking a poop, he's building up all these different candidas and building up all these intestinal bacteria, because that's what bacteria is in the body for. The bacteria is in the body to help the evolutionary process of atoms. If you look at life is a part of a consumption and elimination. Everything in life that's living that have CHO or that have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, it have to consume something or have to consume something to get the energy from it. And then once it get that energy, these things are broken down into byproducts, and these byproducts have to be eliminated. So you're consuming, but you're not eliminating. Not only are you not eliminating on a macro level, but you're not eliminating on a micro level as well, meaning your cells are constipated. You see that? Now you have something in life. All death in life is every cell and every organism in this universe go through life and death cycles. Death do not mean you gone. All death mean is just a rearrangement of atoms and molecules. So and during this rearrangement or this process of metabolism of atoms and molecules, what's happened is you have microorganisms that help the process go on and go forward. So for instance, if you look inside of your gut tissue right now, especially inside a small intestinal tract, you're going to have candida bacteria inside of that small intestinal tract to help break down your sugars, your fructose and your glucose, for you can get ATP and for you can yield energy off of each of your cells. Without these different microorganisms, what they call the microbiome inside of the intestinal tract, you won't have nothing to help you ferment your food. The reason why you have to ferment your food is because fermentation breaks down into alcohol. This alcohol then takes all the different minerals and phytonutrients and sugars you need, and it penetrates the cells to drop all the goodies off to the cells, for the cells can eat to get vitality and to rebuild themselves, whether it's of carbon, fructose, glucose, whether it's of galactose, or whether it's of simple amino acids that you need to rebuild the cells. You need alcohol to penetrate the cells. Well, this natural alcohol comes through fermentation. Guess what the fermentation happens? This happens through candida. Candida is what ferments the food when the food is being broken down in the stomach. Well, if you have too much sugar built up because you're not utilizing the sugars and you're not utilizing the bacteria because your adrenal glands is offline, then it's going to cause an overpopulation of the microbacteria, or what we're going to call the candida organisms, to break down all the sugars because you're not utilizing the sugar. So the bacteria is not the problem. The parasites is not the problem. The acids is the problem. And you having obstructed bowel walls is the problem because of the acidosis. You having prolapsed colons. All of these acids is burning and causing your colon to have a mucinoid plaque. Now you can't absorb any of the sugars. So the sugars is building up inside of the small intestinal tract, and the body don't know what to do with it. It's past the acidic stage because it done passed through the pyloric sphincter. So the stomach can't burn these sugars down because it's sitting inside this 9-inch tract called the duodenum. So all these sugars are building up. The adrenal glands is down. Cortisol is not being produced by the adrenal glands to actually utilize the sugar. So the bacteria is going to have to repopulate themselves to eat the sugar. And this is where you get an overpopulation of Candida albicans, or what you call Candida bacteria. That's all it is. So the bacteria is not the issue. It's the overgrowing of sugars, which is fermenting inside of your bloodstream and inside of your body, that's causing the overgrowth of bacteria. So what's happening? So now what's happening is candida overgrowth. Now, once the candida overgrowth, it starts going into the bloodstream. Now you start seeing candida come from your skin. You start seeing white dandruff come from your head. You start seeing toenail fungus that's in your toenails, because we have to realize that candida is part of the fungus family. And there's a process of decay of any living thing in life. Anything that lives or die, there's an actual process of the decay. So the process of decay of carbon, or what you call carbohydrates, will be your candida. It will also be your fungus. This is the fungus family. So if you see that you are not processing these decay carbons, then you're going to see an overgrowth of the candida and fungal family inside the body. Same thing for animals. The process of decay of meat is uric acid. And these uric acids deal with a lot of different gnarly parasites. So if you see animals that's not getting rid of the meats that they're eating fast, carnivores, not you, because you're not a carnivore, you're a frugivore, you start seeing your dog have a bunch of worms, heartworms, stomach worms. These parasites are coming to help break down the food. If the food is not breaking down fast and efficiently and very fast to the quality that they need to break down, then they start sending out these reproductive receptors out. Now you got an overpopulation of worm infestations because you're not breaking down the uric acid, or you're not breaking down the meat. Same thing that happened with frugivores, or what we're going to call human beings. If you're not metabolizing your sugar correctly because your adrenal glands is offline and you're not producing cortisol to metabolize the sugar, then what breaks down the sugar naturally, which is candida and all these other different microbiomes or bacteria that's in the small intestinal tract, you're going to have an overfluctuation of candida growth. Candida is not the issue. Bacteria is not the issue. Viruses is not the issue. These are all byproducts of the terrain. These are all byproducts of how you are using your body in your environment relationship. You are the problem. It's not these other things. These are byproducts. So we have to get this viral theory out of our mindset. We got to get the bacteria germ theory out of our mindset. We got to get these things up out of our teachings, and we have to reprogram ourselves. It's the only thing that matters is cause and effect. So heavy dandruff and psoriasis is just fungus. Yes, it's a form of fungus. Now these funguses get big now, and they can turn into Fascioloscus buisci. See, Fascioloscus buisci is what causes so-called HIV, and it causes herpes. These are called Hemith worms. But don't get it twisted. These do not come from the outside of the body. All of these parasites and all of these bacteria and these fungos or the microbiome come from within inside of the cells. Just like a virus come from within inside of the cells. It's called a free radical. Your cells are on a lifely cycle. Remember what I was talking about, consumption and elimination? All death is a different rearrangement of atoms. When your cells die off, it rearranges atoms. Through the cell dying, it releases something called exosomes and ribosomes. These exosomes and ribosomes are the poop or the defecation of the cell dying off. If the lymphatic system doesn't pick up these proteins or these cells dying, it will go as a free radical throughout the body. And then there's different types of parasites that are created from there that's supposed to eat it. So you have a fragmented protein from the exosomes and the lysosomes of the cell. Now this have created one of your microbiomes to become overly mature, or what we're going to call a parasite. These things two put together is called a virus. I promise y'all, just start looking this stuff up. So we see that most of these viruses does not come from outside of the body. It comes from within inside the body's own cell. Same thing for candida and bacteria overgrowth. Once you eat something, the body is going to respond to it. Depending on what you eat, that depends on the bacteria that's going to be in play. If I'm going to eat sugar, it's going to be candida. This is part of the fungus family. If I'm going to eat meats, you're going to get your different types of putrefaction worms, Fascioloscus buski, toxoplasma, hemiform, hookworms, threadworms, fluke worms. These things come from within inside the body. See, what happens is we dealing with the same bacteria, but the bacteria will mutate depending on the environment it's in and what you putting inside of your body. Then if the bacteria starts to penetrate different types of cells in the body or go into the bloodstream and goes into different type of organs, it changes. For instance, when it's in my stomach, they call it H. pylori. Some of them call it candida. Some of them call it fungal overgrowth. If that deal penetrates the blood and brain barrier and gets into the brain, they call it toxoplasma. This is where you get most of your head tumors from. This is where you get most of your pituitary tumors from. This is where you get most of your brain cancer from. Because the byproduct of toxoplasma, it produces something called amyloid protein. Amyloid protein is the cause of Alzheimer's disease. It's the cause of dementia. It's the cause of most of your autistic problems. All this, cerebral palsy. All this come from a different bacteria that came from within the body or come from vaccinations when you was a child and it traveled to the brain. If this same bacteria overgrowth make its way into the blood and get to the thymus gland, they call it HIV. If it gets to the stomach and it penetrates the actual pancreas, they call it diabetes mellitus, either diabetes 1 or diabetes 2, or they call it hyperglycemia. We're dealing with something that's inside of the body, though. Depending on what you putting in the body will change the environment of the bacteria or the microbiome. Then the microbiome is going to respond to the environment because the microbiome play each different role inside the body. We have to understand how important candida in the microbiome is. It's called the mycelium network or the fungal family, when nothing exists without them. In fact, you are a big ass microparasitic. That's what you are. You're a big ass mushroom. That's what you are. Without these mushrooms or without these candida products or these fungal microorganisms in the body, it will be impossible to break down your food. It will be impossible to have a wake and sleep pattern. It will be impossible to get goodies inside of your bloodstream to feed each individual cells inside your body. It'll be impossible to grow nails. It'll be impossible to grow hair because the microbiome grows all these things. It keeps your body in a balance of homeostasis. That's exactly what the fungus family do. And that's how you know that you're a frugivore by nature. Because guess what naturally breaks down sugars? Fructose, glucose, galactose, dextrose, maltose, pentose. What is breaking these things down? Candida. Candida bacterium or Candida albums. See that? It says also, can someone explain the blisters I got behind my knees? It popped. Look, it popped yesterday and lymph fluid. So he been studying me. It popped yesterday and lymph fluid came out of it this morning and it got swollen again. Showing you that he is so backed up, y'all. He is so backed up that all of his lymph nodes are swollen and they're popping. And notice when they pop, he have lymph fluid coming up out of him. So he have a stagnated what, y'all? He have a stagnated what, y'all? He have a stagnated lymphatic fluid system. His systems is stagnated. His lymph is not moving. Well, what moves the lymphatic system, y'all? The kidneys and the adrenals. You have something from the adrenals called acetylcholinesterase. Not only that, but acetylcholine. Acetylcholinesterase and acetylcholine is a melanin neurotransmitter / hormone that actually dilates and constrict and open up the lymphatic vessels for you can actually move and filtrate your lymphatic system through the kidneys. So his adrenals is the issues. There is nothing else causing this but down adrenal glands. And look, he's in a position where this tricky because he can't eat fruits because he has so many intestinal tract issues that he's not going to be able to break down the fruits. So the fruits are going to ferment inside of his belly, which is going to cause more candida overgrowth population. So now as an herbalist and as a healer, we got to be smart and we have to write him. We have to create him an actual write-up of the herbs he's going to need. Y'all see that? It says, I understand that I have a stagnated lymphatic system. And probably, look, he been watching me, y'all. I understand that I have a stagnated lymphatic system and probably weak adrenals. And I can't imagine what the insides of me look like if the outside of me look like this. So he understand too, as within, so without. So he's saying if his skin is taking a poop like this because his cells are so constipated, then what does his cells look like? Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. It says, any tips or help or input is appreciated. I just want to heal from this I just want to heal and feel comfortable in my own skin again. And yes, I will shower, bath, and moisturize. Hours later, and it come right back and it look like this. It's hell. My fingers and my toes are swollen and my ankles are as well. You're swelling because of acidosis. There have to be a compensation for the acids, and it's going to be the cells pulling all of his water resources from with each individual cell to go towards the acids to try to put out the problem. So now your body and your legs and your ankles and your toes are collecting the condensation or collecting the water to actually bring in equilibrium to the acidosis. And it's a balance. It's called my eye. And that's the reason why, because your lymphatic system is not moving. It says, I have a colonoscopy appointment today, so maybe the doc will be able to tell me something. He ain't gonna tell you nothing. I'm gonna tell you everything. I'm trying to stay away from toxic pharmaceutical drugs. Good, that's what you're gonna need to do. I have a neuropathic doctor before, but they weren't able to help you. Only thing that's gonna be able to help you, brother, is detoxification and cellular regeneration. Ain't no allopathic community gonna tell you anything that's good to get rid of this stuff. I'm telling you that now. And I'm gonna show y'all these pictures, and then we're gonna go and break this down, and I'm gonna show you exactly what you need to heal. So these are the pictures he sent with the email. This is the email right here. And these are the pictures, but I'm going to show y'all the pictures from my phone. That way y'all can see it better. Check this out, y'all. This is deep. So look at his skin. Y'all see that fungus growing from his skin, causing his skin to be flaky and dry? See that? That's candida. That is unmetabolized sugars going into fermentation, and then it's starting to grow yeast. Whenever you deal with moles, whenever you start dealing with moles and stuff like that, whenever you start dealing with warts, moles, toenail fungus, fingernail fungus, itching of skin, psoriasis, eczema, you're dealing with unmetabolized sugar because your adrenals is going down, and now you're dealing with Fasciolopsis buski, which is the same hemith worm that causes herpes and that causes HPV. Same worm. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all that herpes come with a yeast infestation of worms. See that? So a yeast infection and herpes is very, very, very close in relationship with each other. See? Look at this. That is his arm, y'all. Look at all that candida. Look at all that's unmetabolized sugars. That is the lymphatic system not being able to filtrate through the kidneys by way of the adrenal glands. Imagine the pain this brother is going through. Look, he shed so much. Look at the itching. The itching is starting to break away his skin. So he's starting to bleed. We're going to show him how to get rid of this, though. We're going to help him out, too. Yep, unmetabolized sugars. Fermentation. The whole body starts to ferment right now. He's a walking fermentation right now, showing you he have a lot of live organisms in his body that's overpopulated because he's not able to break down his food correctly. This is the pile of his skin on the floor, y'all. This is not dirt. This is the dust that come from his skin on the floor. Do y'all see this? This is the reason why we have to make sure that kidney filtration. Look at his neck. Y'all see the warts and the bumps that's starting to come? Showing you that warts and moles is what? Candida. These are funguses. Warts and moles is fungus. It's called carbon. That's why moles are black. Carbon is built up. Carbon and melanin and sugar is the same thing. So when you have carbon, when you have unutilized carbon, it starts to penetrate through the skin. Your skin is taking a poop. So literally a mole is a bowel movement on the skin. And now you're starting to see the warts are coming in. And notice when you pop these warts, fluid and mucus come out. Not blood. You're probably going to see 10% blood, but you're going to see 90% fluid and mucus, showing you that it's not the blood that's the issue. It's the lymphatic system that is the issue, because the lymphatic system is not cleansing itself properly. Then you see the actual breakouts on the chin and the face, which I guarantee if we check it, is going to be herpes. Showing you that it's all the same thing. See, but everybody say that herpes is a sexually transmitted disease. It can be a sexually transmitted disease, but it's not. We're talking about parasites, and we're talking about yeast and candida build up within inside of the systems. That's what we're talking about here. Look at this, y'all. Everybody want to talk about STD. Well, how did the first person get it? If these are all sexually transmitted diseases and demons, then how did the first person get it? We have to rethink, y'all. We have to rethink what health and wellness is. Look at that, y'all. And y'all see the tissues. So we're going to help him out. And look at his hands. Y'all see all the different warts and bumps on his hands? You see it? I'm the only person with the name Yah'ki Awaken. It might be a name trying to be close to mine, and them are nothing but fakes. This is my only page. Y'all see his feet? It's starting to travel to his toes. So in a minute, we're going to start seeing his toes turn dark. His toenails turn dark if we don't help him out. And this is one more picture, y'all. All right, so now let's talk about how to get rid of these things. So let's go back to the letter. Make sure y'all writing these down. This is my only page. Any other page out here with my pictures, and this is the only page with this name. They might throw an extra D on it or take an N off, but this is my only page, y'all. This page is almost at 100,000 followers, y'all. Any other page is not mine. I'm actually getting this page verified now, and I'm going through my verification process because of that. Make sure y'all delete and y'all block them people. Them a bunch of scamming ass Nigerian Africans trying to get y'all money. That's exactly who it is. A bunch of Nigerians, y'all. We've been tracking them down and finding out who it is. It's a bunch of scanning ass Nigerian Africans trying to get over on their people. So make sure that y'all unfollow them channels. Make sure that y'all block them and report them, y'all. Block them and report them. This is my only channel on IG, and I'm only following 4 women on here. 4 of my women, 4 wives. That's the only people I'm following on. I'm not even following nobody else. So if they following you and if they in your inbox, I don't even respond to inboxes. So if they responding to your DM and all of that, they lying. That's not me. I don't respond to inboxes, and I don't follow anybody. And I would never ask you for money or nothing over the web. I only do business through www.yahkiawaken.com. So make sure that y'all not letting these people get y'all. Have a sense of discernment of spirit, y'all. All right, so let's break this down. Y'all ready for it? Let's break it down. All right, it says, I've been suffering for years. It says, I have been told it's eczema. So the first thing we have to understand that eczema is a part of the herpes. Herpes have over 16 different types of mutations of diseases when it comes to humans. When it comes to animals, it's over 108. So you have herpes 1, which is when it's in the basal ganglia nerve and you get outbreaks in your mouth. You have herpes simplex 2. Is where you get it on your genital area. You got 3 when you get it, they call it shingles or chicken pox. It comes all over your body. You got another one, which is psoriasis. Eczema is a form of herpes. Smallpox, shingles, chicken pox is a form of herpes. There's so many. You got itchy elbow disease. It's called herpes dermatitis, where you get bumps on your elbows or on the inner side of your elbows. All of these things are called herpes, y'all. Herpes is a worm. It's actually a fluke worm. This fluke worm is called Fasciolopsis boyski. That's what it is in its growing stage. When it's in its small germinate stage, it's called many different things. And it always get mistaken as candida when it's in its microorganism stage before it grows. And that's how you know that herpes is closely associated with fungus and yeast infections. So you start, yes, acne, severe chronic acne is also another form of herpes. See that they be lying to us. And these are all dealing with parasites, parasites that come from within the body. See, now the injections that they give you might be microorganisms mixed with some different types of metals and stuff that they put in your body that keep your body from circulating and processing sugars. And then from these things, the parasites come from these things. You know, you're dealing with Fort Detrick military base. You're dealing with Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller, the Rothschilds. All of them were creating these damn viruses for real, but the viruses come from within inside the body. They're just putting something inside of your body to make your body respond wrongly to what they put into it. And then the byproduct of responding to these outside things that they're putting in your body, the cell starts to break down. The breaking down of the cells is what's your viruses. These are what you call free radicals. They're just roaming through your body fucking up shit. They call them proteins. That's why all viruses are protein associated. Well, proteins come from the cells build up of amino acid constituent chains. When these things break down and they don't die completely and go to the lymphatic system, then go to the lymph nodes to be broken down more for filtration by way of the kidneys and the adrenals, then they start to mess up things inside the body. This is what you call a virus. A virus is nothing but a undead, broken down cell. Period. That's what it is. So we understand that you're dealing with a parasite. All right, so we see that you got Phascolarctos buski parasite. Now, what you did was you used parasite herbs, but I don't think you put them together right. And you need to start going after the adrenals, because say if you go in and you kill the parasites, but you still eat them, you still are breaking these things down into glucose and fructose, which is going to take these different bacteria to break it down, because you're not utilizing the sugar. So you're going after the symptoms, and you're not going after the root problems. Yes, T.C. Fry said the same thing. Great teacher. Great teacher. I got all his books, Afro Kills. Yes, T.C. Fry broke it down. See, so you see that you're going after the symptoms and you're going after the byproducts, but you're not going after the cause. We got to go after the cause of the issue, not the effect. Remember, the parasites are the effect, not the cause. The bacteria overgrowth is the effect, not the cause. Your skin flaking up like that is the effect, not the cause. See, the kidneys and the adrenals not working is the effect, not the cause. The cause is acidosis. Acid's the only thing that brings down the actual adrenals. For those that don't know, this is a big old kidney. This is the adrenal glands. The adrenal gland sits on top of the kidneys. What the adrenal glands is in control of is of utilizing minerals, utilizing sugars, utilizing neurotransmitters. It's also in control of the parasympathetic, sympathetic, and the autonomic nervous system. These are the things that runs on autopilot. See that? You breaking down your food is run on autopilot. You don't have to think to digest your food. Your food do that by itself. You breathing in and out. Your lungs going in and out, expanding and collapsing, expanding again. All of that is by way of the adrenal glands. You don't have to worry about breathing unless you have an adrenal problem and you have PCOS, or you have, not PCOS, you have COPD, you have different types of neurological respiratory illnesses. Then you have to think about it. But that's because the adrenals are down. See that? Your pancreas actually breaking down your food and utilizing your sugar, producing insulin. All that is by the adrenal glands. So anybody that have any type of hyperglycemia problems, anybody that have any type of diabetic problems, these are adrenals, because this is what metabolizes sugar. This is what metabolizes amino acids along with the liver. And this is what metabolizes all of your vital minerals. We have to get the adrenals back online. And the kidneys will go down if the adrenals are not online, because the adrenals act as the electrical plug that plugs the kidneys up to get the kidneys turned on, to get the nephrons inside the kidneys filtrating all the metabolic waste that the body builds up. Period. So, all right, so now, you went after the eczema, but it didn't work. That's because you didn't go after the adrenals. Now, you said that you took, oregano oil. Oregano oil is good, and it's very anti-fungal, and it's good for parasites. But you got to go after the adrenals at the same time. Also, it said that you recently tested positive for fungal and candida overgrowth and leaky gut. You have too many acids inside of the stomach, and you have different types of bacteria like H. pylori. These bacteria love to eat on your gut lining. They will eat the hell out of your your gut lining, which is the mucosa membrane. The mucosa membrane is what lines the gut, the gastrointestinal tract, and it lines the fungus of the stomach. So if you have a mucus eater, or what we're going to call H. pylori, or what we're going to call different types of bacterial issues or microorganisms inside the stomach, once they eat that lining of the gut, then now all you got now is just a piece of cell there that's connecting the rest of the body from the gut. So soon as hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen come in, it's going to burn a hole through the lining of the gut, and now you leaking acids everywhere. You see that? But notice this: H. pylori, Fasciolopsis buski, Candida, fungus, all these things are microbacteria that you need. It's that they change their position and they mutate when you put your body in a bad environment. See that? So the eczema, we already know that we're going to have to kill Fasciolopsis buski. We see fungi and candida. We're not going to go kill fungi and candida. We're going to stop their eating source. So what we're going to do is make sure that we're metabolizing sugar right. So I'm not going to even use certain types of parasite killers on them, parasitic killer herbs. I'm just going to change the functioning of my adrenal glands. That way I'm metabolizing sugars, and I don't have monosaccharides and polysaccharides and disaccharides, or what we call complex sugars, building up inside of my bloodstream and building up in my small intestinal tract. You're going to start seeing them equal themselves out. The leaky gut. Whenever we're dealing with the leaky gut, we have to rehabilitate the mucosa membrane. The mucosa membrane is a part of the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the so-called immunological system. So now we have to start building back up the lymphatic system. The only way to do that is to get the kidneys and the adrenals back filtering properly. And the only way we can go after that is by going after the adrenal glands again. You see that? It says, please, I'm suffering. And then he's talking about the steroids. We have to get off the steroid cream, because we see that the steroids and all your different melanin neurotransmitters are actually awakening and are being used by the adrenal glands. And one thing that we have learned within the 12 years of doing this, whenever you start taking things that the gland produce and you take the synthetic part of that, what happens is the gland stop producing it. So if you're taking all these synthetic steroids, then the gland's going to be like, well, hell, I don't need to produce my own steroids. So what happens is the gland just stops working, period. So I'm glad that you're not taking these antifungals and these steroids and stuff like that no more. So what we're going to do to get rid of this is, the first thing we'll have to do is you need to start working on the adrenal glands. That's what you need to go after, the adrenal glands and the kidneys. Kidney filtration is going to save your life. So I'm not going to recommend that you go on an all-fruit diet. And the reason why I'm not going to recommend that you go on an all-fruit diet is because you're not even utilizing your minerals properly, and your sugars are not metabolizing properly. So what I'm going to say is you keep a balanced ma'at diet of fruits and vegetables. Go on an all-raw diet of simple fruits and simple vegetables. Make sure with these simple fruits that they are astringents, though. If you're going to eat an apple, make sure it's a green apple. Make sure that these are citrix electrical fruits. That way we can start that stringent and pulling process on the body to start pulling all of these acids from the skin. Because your skin is already taking a poop anyway, because remember, your skin is the third kidney, and your kidneys is not functioning properly, and that's the reason why your skin is being used as an alternative route of elimination. So what we need to do is you need to get the kidney and adrenal kit from off the website. All right, what you really need is my geogenetic therapy, but I see in past notes it said that a lot of people can't afford it. So get the kidney and adrenal kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go after the adrenal glands. We're going to clean the adrenals up. Once we clean the adrenals up and we get that acetylcholinesterase and acetylcholine producing again, we can start opening up the kidneys and the nephrons and the kidneys for filtration. Now you can start filtrating the lymphatic system. But what I need you doing things outside of herbs and things outside of diet too. I need you to sweat. You can go on Amazon right now and buy you a $300 steam sauna, and you can sit in it. I need you to be in that sauna at least. Start off, since your skin is so fragmented right now and it's so fragile right now, you need to do at least 15 minutes a day in a steam sauna to open up the pores and to truly start getting all of that metabolic poop from the cells that's built up in the dermis and the epidermis of your skin, to start getting these things out. Not only that, we're going to make you a personalized skin salve. And this skin salve is going to have things like burdock root in it. Not only is it going to have burdock root in it, but it's going to have a cleaver's leaf in it. The cleaver's leaf is going to pull and draw. We're going to have a black salve, what you call blood root in it. That's going to pull and you be used as a solvent to pull all of these different constituents out of the skin. Not only that, we're going to add, certain different types of leaf, like red violet leaf, purple violet leaf. These are going to heal the skin and rehabilitate the skin. Another one, and what I've noticed too, whenever you healing the skin, liver herbs are very, very good to heal the skin. Liver herbs and skin herbs are the same thing. So, good liver herbs would be what? You have your dandelion root and your dandelion leaf. That's very, very good for the liver, so it'll be good for the skin. You also have milk thistle seeds. That's very, very good for the liver, so it'll be good for the skin. Again, you have your cleaver's leaf. That's very good for the liver, so it'll be good for the skin. So we'll be mixing these things up, put a little honeybees wax in there, and you'll be able to use it as an actual salve to rub on your skin and keep you from having that itchy feeling. Now, not only that, while we doing that with the skin and while you're doing these extra things like jumping on a rebounder, going and get you a sauna for you can sweat and things like that, you need to take hot and cold showers. So when you get in the shower, turn it real hot. Do that for 2 minutes and wash yourself out, and then turn it real cold. What this is going to do is jumpstart the lymphatic system and cause the lymphatic system to start circulating. You see what I'm saying? It causes that circulation of the lymphatic system. It's kind of like, how when somebody die, they do the static shock and they rub them together, the defibrillators, and they put them on their chest to get the heart beating again. That's what the cold and hot shock treatment do to the lymphatic system. It gets it pumping again, and it gets it actually producing what we call acetylcholine or acetylcholinesterase. You see that? So you got the sauna. That's down pat. Also, your clothing. Make sure that you stay naked as possible. You don't want to keep rubbing things up against that, especially if it's mixed fabric, because that's going to irritate the skin more. If you can't find 100% linen or 100% cotton, hey, go naked. Just stay in the house until we heal your skin and we heal these things from your body. Also, you need a parasite elimination kit. While we focusing on the adrenal glands, now it's time to start killing the big boys. We're not worried about the little boys. The little microorganisms, they going to stay there. You can't kill them anyway. You kill all your microorganisms, you going to die with it, because 150 trillion microorganisms is what makes up 150 trillion cells. Cells make up systems. Systems make up organs, and organs make up who you are. So if you kill the microorganisms, you going to kill you, because you ain't nothing but a big ass walking microorganism made up of 150 trillion microorganisms. So we have to change the ideology here. You see what I'm saying? So, but them big gnarly motherfuckers, we got to get them up out of the body. So that's what you're going to do with the parasite elimination kit. Now, if you need the herbs, I'll give you the herbs right now. Cloves, whole cloves, organic whole cloves. Make sure that you use cloves. You're going to mix this with greater wormwood. All right, not only is you mixing this, and these are all equal parts. Not only is you mixing these with greater wormwood, but you also going to mix this with mugwort. Mugwort is very, very good. All right, then try to find you some organic oregano leaves. All right, mix these with organic oregano leaves and some parsley to open up the kidneys for filtration while doing that. And my last one is green walnut hull, not black walnut hull, but green walnut hull. You see that? Green walnut hull. Mix these all together in equal parts and put them in capsules. If you want to make you a tincture out of it. Just make sure that you add cane sugar alcohol or grape sugar alcohol. Make sure you sitting these deals out for at least 2 to 3 months and start taking these things. Now we're starting to kill off the big boys. Not only is we killing off the big boys, but we sweating. So the skin is actually pooping out all these other different types of metabolic waste and these unutilized sugars that's built up in the body. Not only is we going after that, but we going after the adrenal glands, and we putting the adrenal glands back online. If your blood pressure is not high, the best thing to use for the adrenal glands is licorice root. Licorice root, this is an African root too, come from Africa. You see it coming from Europe too, but it was in Africa before it was in Europe. This is very, very good for getting the adrenals online, getting the adrenals electrified, starting the adrenals to produce acetylcholine and acetylcholinesterase, to open up the nephrons of the kidneys and to actually get that electrical magnetic frequency back going to the body. That way you can start metabolizing all your vital minerals or your vitamins. You can start metabolizing all your sugars, your corticosteroids, and your steroids. You see that? Now, once you start doing all these things together, and you're on the raw diet, you're going to start seeing your skin clear up. So don't trip off of that, because we still got to clean out the insides. We still got to clean out the inside of these things, right? So now what's going to happen is most people just stop taking the herbs because they think they healed. You're not healed. Now it's time to start switching to a more fruit diet, because everything is starting to be balanced out. Now it's time to hydrate interstitially. See that the interstitial fluid is what makes up the lymphatic system. So now it's time to start breaking up that inner coagulation, inner glomulation. Now you're starting to flow. Now this is the best time to start checking your urine. Every morning, urinate in a glass jar and make sure that them kidneys are filtrating. You're supposed to see a white, dense, muky substance that actually sinks to the bottom of your urine glass. And that's when we see that the kidneys are filtering. When you see that the kidneys are filtering, that's when you know that the adrenal glands online. When you figure out that the adrenal glands online, that's how you know that you're metabolizing your sugars properly, you're metabolizing your vital minerals properly, and you're metabolizing your amino acids properly. You see that? Once we see that, man, you on your way to healing. Your healing is right around the corner, and you just got to keep it going. Now, once your skin clears up, now it's time to start doing dry skin brushing. I wouldn't recommend you dry skin brush when your skin look like scaly flakes of candida. That's going to hurt like hell, and you might bleed to death. Because you're gonna disrupt and you're going to actually corrupt a lot of blood vessels trying to brush right now. That'll be the worst mistake. So once you get like a month or two in, and you start seeing a change and you start hitting that 90-day period when your skin start clearing up, now it's time to buy you a dry brush, and you need to start dry brushing towards the kidneys. Never dry brush towards the heart. Why would you want to move all your metabolic waste towards your heart when your heart is the heart valve that actually supplies the blood with flow and rhythmatic frequencies? That'd be the most, the stupidest thing you can do. So start dry brushing towards the kidneys. Not only that, once your skin clear up, start doing neurolymphatic massages. You have neurolymphatic points all on your body through your spinal cord on the front and back. You can get these actual PDF forms off of my website, www.yahkiawaken.com. Make sure that you're doing neurolymphatic massages. Always do clockwise, never counterclockwise. Counterclockwise will weaken the cells. Clockwise will strengthen and tone the cells. You see that motion and direction is very important to a multifaceted dimensional being like you and I. We're a melanated carbon being. So neurolymphatic massages. Make sure that you skin brushing. You see that? Another thing that you need to do when pooping, because it said that not only that you have small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. A lot of these will come out when you're defecating. Make sure that you get a poop stool. Quit pooping without being in a squat position. Get you a poop stool that's at least 13 inches. That way, when you put your feet on that poop stool, you can align your bowel the right way to open up that colon and that rectum and that anus to really get and flush all that poop out of the systems, and you're not leaving over left shit packed inside the colon wall. Because the more you leave left over and the more you leave behind, the more candida gonna be built up, and it's gonna be feasting on your poop inside of your body. Because remember, all of these candida is what deals with your process of decay of carbons. You see that? Candida does. Biobifiidal bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria, they deal with your process of decay of acidosis. See that? So you have bacteria that eats sugars and break down sugars for fermentation. But then again, you have a lot of different bacteria that eats acids and only acids. So whenever you have acidosis and acid buildup, that means that you don't have any type of bacteria in your body to actually be the trash can to break or be the garbage disposal for the acids, or what we're going to call the acid ass waste that's left behind from all the food that you be eating. Remember, whenever you violate nature, nature violates you. Remember, it's only two things that exist inside of this life: consumption and elimination. Well, in order to process things from consumption to elimination, that takes a lot of friction, or that takes a lot of energy, and energy burns acids, and the burning of acids leave byproducts that's usually toxic to the body. This shit cannot stay in the body because it starts to burn and corrupt and corrodes the cells. When the cells are corroded and corrupted, they start to degenerate the cells, and this is what you call chronic disease. This is where you get your cancers. This is where you get your mutating cells from. This is where you get lupus from. All these lying ass things like autoimmune disease is all bullshit. This is nothing but cause and effect, because you are obstructing your body because you putting the wrong chemistry in the body, and you haven't opened up the lymphatic system in the kidneys to filtrate all the metabolic waste that you have been putting in your body. Cause and effect. What goes up must come down. This is a universal practical law. We have to start applying these laws to our bodies. Period. That's what's going on with you. You finna go get the Sims card? Oh. Okay. Go to the bank. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on with your body. So what I recommend you is my geogenetic therapeutic package, level 1 or level 2. But if you can't afford that, what you can go on the website. They will offer it in payment plans if you check out through Sizzle. But if you still can't do that, then most definitely get you the kidney and adrenal kit, get the parasite elimination kit, and I will throw the salve in there for you for free. That's what I recommend. You need to be on that ASAP. Make sure you're on an all raw diet. I do not recommend you doing all fruits right now because your adrenals are not metabolizing your sugar correctly, and it's going to make the candida problem worse. So I recommend you doing that 50% fruit. Most fruits that's astringent, from we can start pulling and tugging away at all that metabolic waste that's built up inside of you. And then the next part is all vegetables. And make sure that these vegetables is not hard vegetables, because we see you have a problem with your bowels and your intestinal tract anyway. So no kale, because kale takes too long to actually digest unless you marinate it. But you can't marinate your kale in key limes and lemons because you have a leaky gut. So that's going to be a problem, because these acid fruits, especially from lemons and key limes, is going to burn the hell out of you. You're going to feel like you got an ulcer. So I don't recommend you even doing that. So stay away from kale, stay away from arugula and stuff like that. You need watercress, watery type of vegetables. You know, dose, kelp, nori. Them would be good things for you. Bok choy, that'd be very, very good for you. Things that's going to break down and assimilate with the body easy, but it's going to have that astringent pulling effect at the same time. I actually recommend that you go on a 30-day grape diet. If you can do a 30-day grape fast with nothing but that, we probably can even heal you much, much quicker. We done pulled tumors out of the breast. We done healed breast cancer within 30 days just on strictly grapes and herbs. Them grapes are very, 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 very amazing. And that's what I recommend. That's what I recommend you do. To actually stop all of that itching and stuff like that, that's what the salve is going to be for. Until then, if you can get you some strong chronic, some strong marijuana, I suggest you get the strongest marijuana ever, and you make a very, very potent tea up out of it. Do not smoke it, because the moment that you put a fire to it, it becomes a chemical, and there's estrogen hormones that's released from it that will really mess up your brain cells and kill your brain cells. Marijuana is a very, very, very good herb. We see that they used it in 1500 BC in the dynasty of Kemet, or what they call Egypt. They use it for all of their healing remedies. That's how powerful and potent marijuana is. The thing is, though, once you put a fire to it, you changes the chemical composition, and it becomes acidic, and it yields a lot of estrogen hormones. I think that's it. Now, if y'all got any type of questions according to this case that I just read, let me know and we can answer them right now. But it have to be according to this case. This video is specifically for him, and I really want him to get this video. So I don't want to talk about too many other things. I want to stay focused on what we got going on here. So any questions that's dealing with this brother Adrian Lockhart, y'all can ask him now. What kind of grapes? I recommend you can get your red. I like the red globe, the purple red globe grapes. Them are real good. Concord grapes with seeds. With seeds. And don't spit out the seeds, chew the seeds. The seeds have a lot of phytonutrients in them. But the skin is what has the tannins and the detoxification mechanisms. So when you look inside of grapes and you study the food forensics of the actual bioflavonoids in grapes, it have tannins in them. And these tannins is what, purifies the blood, open up the skin. I mean, it does everything. So I say red globe grapes with seeds. Plants have toxins. Do you know that? Yes, I know plants have toxins. The toxins in plants are called lectins, Lectin, but that ain't got shit to do with what I'm talking about, brother. So let's keep it pushing. Facts, no fire onto herbs. Facts. Is it possible to find seeded grapes anywhere, though? We got them in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm at home in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm here for about a week. That's why I'm going to be live a lot. We got them here. I don't know anywhere else, but you can't order them online. You most definitely can order seeded grapes online. My kidneys are filtering, but I have bumps on my forehead. You sound like you're going through the same things as him. Once you keep filtrating, the bumps eventually go away. The bumps is nothing but pockets of lymphatic stagnation fluid built up. Vegetables to eat. I already gave you the vegetables to eat, or you can go on www.yahkiawaken.com and look at my food combination chart. That'll give him his vegetables that he can eat. Is this recording will be saved to your YouTube? Yes, I upload it on my YouTube next. They have been removing your videos, King. I know, man. They've been removing all of my videos, Derek Dream. They just removed like 6 of them 2 days ago, and 3 days before that, they removed 12 of them. So they are removing my stuff. So if y'all can screen record this stuff and upload it yourself, please do. Just make sure y'all tag me in them, pay me homage. But they're deleting a lot of my shit, y'all. On YouTube, they delete my stuff. On Facebook, they delete my videos and information. And now they doing it with IG. Now they're doing it with IG. All of these things are saved, and I'm uploading all of these to my new website. My new website should be ready in a month, y'all. I don't want to give y'all a date because last month it wasn't ready. It's a real big complex website, so it's going to take a while. Can you use cherries instead of grapes? You can't eat cherries, but we can't play the game like instead of grapes because grapes are way, 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 way more stringent in rebuilding and just detoxifying than cherries. So I don't want to even put them in the same category, God. What about black grapes? Black grapes are good, but just make sure you got seeds in them, goddess. Globes or Concord grapes with seeds. That's right, goddess. That's right. Yeah, why black walnut hull, Yah'ki? So the reason why I said walnut, that's a good question. The reason why I said green walnut hull is because green walnut hull is the yielding part. That's when it's actually ripe. The black walnut hull is the byproduct of the green. So if you can catch it in this green walnut hull stages, that's where you kill the microorganisms and the macroorganisms at. That's why a lot of people take black walnut hull and they still be dealing with parasites because y'all taking the wrong walnut hull. Y'all got it in this wrong harvest state. You need to use it when it's in its green state. That's where all the antifungal properties is at. But once it die off, now you're getting a yielding byproduct of it, and that's why it don't work. Good question though. Very, very good question. You can juice the grapes and drink it as well. Yes, you can, but not with this particular case. Hell no. Because when you juice them, you juicing all the sugar out. That's why with some cancer cases, we don't recommend you juicing the grapes. With some cancer cases, depending on what the cancer is and what stage you in, we don't even recommend you juicing it. Because the sugar, high sugar, and don't get it wrong though, sugar heals. But if your adrenals down and you just packing your body with sugar, you ain't going to be able to metabolize it. Then you're going to have a problem like bro got. So no, not at all. Not with this case. Do not juice them grapes. Best way to use marijuana. I just said it. See that gene? Use it as a tea.